Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the knife, okay? So we only really touch upon knife skills. We're not experts at the knife. We've really just got, you know, if everything else goes wrong, here's some ideas, here's some things that you can do, right? The basic three spaces that we talk about with the knife are a dynamic attack, where they're actually trying to cut you, okay, they're trying to attack you, very difficult situation not to get cut in. A concealed attack, where somebody pulls the knife out and stabs you and you might not have even seen it, and a static threat. We start with the static threat because it's the least dangerous out of all of those, and probably the easiest to negotiate your way out of, and also to fight your way out of, because the knife tends to be still. He will usually use a static threat when he wants something. He's like, give me your money, or whatever it might be, okay? He'll be in this kind of situation, all right? What we want to do is we want to use as few techniques as possible. We want to rely on the concepts. So generally speaking, what we're going to do, okay, when he's in a situation where he is threatening me, is we're going to try to put two hands on the knife hand. We're going to try to keep him off balance, keep striking him without using those hands, okay, and not basically control that knife, okay? So from here, when he's threatening me, he's saying like, give me money, whatever it might be, okay, from here, we're going to, okay, if we can disarm it, great, okay, but what we're going to do is not rely, what that talk about concealed knives, okay? So what I did then was, when the knife was up against me, I went, you know, I don't want any trouble here, take my money. And I moved my hips back a little bit and slapped on the back of the hand over here and on the wrist on the inside. So the hand was out the way. Now, this time he was ready for it, see? So it didn't fly out of his hand so easy. So what we need to do is, as soon as we go for this, we want to assume that we're not going to be successful and have two hands on that, okay? From here, we've got two hands on the knife hand. We want to get ourselves away from the blade as much as possible and keep them off balance, striking them where we can, okay, until we see an opportunity to take that. If we find ourselves on the outside, we might decide to move into this one nugget to control and get the knife out from there. Okay? From here, if the knife's on the inside, okay? So from here, if I'm on the outside of it, what I do is control that knife away from him, brought it through this way to take him down. We can take the knife out from there. If when I'm moving around, the knife ends up on this side of my body, or then I'm bringing him this way. Okay, and get him out of there using mochi moai. These techniques tend to be more effective when they're holding a weapon than when they're not, because the grip on the weapon adds to the stability of the joint. So try to make sure that if you're controlling somebody's knife hand, that you're controlling over the thumb, so you're actually holding that knife in the hand. Now basically, when we've got this position, the bread and butter technique we're going to move to is we're simply going to turn his fingers towards his bicep and bring it down. Okay. Then from here, we're going to control and get that knife out of the hand. Okay? Boys. Pace, would you step in, please? So if he's got the knife up to my throat, okay, then from here I can use the same technique. Listen, mate, I don't want any trouble. Hit here and here, so it tries to fly that way. I grab it, turn it over, keep him off balance, trying to strike him, trying to keep him off balance the whole way. Okay, from here, if he won't let go, we put the elbow on the ground, and we start to put the pressure down. The fingers will open if you put some pressure on them. If he comes to the body over here, hitting it this way. Keep your hand on it, turn it around. So once again, I'm locking his fingers onto the knife. He can't then just move it to the other hand. Okay, if I'm holding here, it just changes. I'm working on the wrist lock over here, and I end up with holes all over myself. Whereas if I get control of it, hold it in that hand over here, bang, pop, he can still use that other one, but I can keep him thinking about all sorts of things as we bring him down to the ground. Pop this one down, get it out, smash. Okay? If he's in a situation where, for example, from behind, get the fingers in. Okay? We want to come underneath over here, bring him down this sort of way. Get it in. Bang from here. Get the hand onto it. By holding those fingers together, it's increasing the pressure of this technique. If I spin from here, okay, something's going to give. All right. From the front, he holds it up to the neck from the front, but it's not on the front, it's on the side over here. Pretty simple, right? We move away from the knife and we don't let it follow us. Once again, the hand goes on it, the fingers go just outside the bicep, bang, off, same techniques. Okay? And then from here we can drive it down towards him. Look for the elbow down, hand up position. Okay? Something to play with there. Do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, just one little thing. When you're dealing with the knife, don't think that I am not to get cut. Because odds are, dealing with a knife, you will get cut. It's getting cut on areas that are going to be less lethal, that are not going to bleed out or cause any major damage. So you're getting cut on backs of the wrist, not along the insides and the vital areas where there's lots of flesh. So, like even when Denzel is defending from behind, it might be sometimes where it might rub along the wrist, but along on the outside of the wrist, if it comes to there, that's not going to cause major damage. It'll bleed or hurt, but that's going to bleed out a lot faster.
And I can't use my hand anymore. 10 minutes. So we talk about this a lot more when we move to the dynamic attacks. Okay? So Pacey's coming in for slashing type attacks like this. This is where we need to be very cautious. We need to keep the hands facing our own body. Okay? And this is where we can use our tegumi type techniques. Alright? If he's coming in for straight line techniques, we can look at our tegumi techniques in order to enter. If he's coming for slashing type techniques, we can use our tegumi type techniques to pass those through. If he comes from jabbing sort of stuff, we can use our tegumi techniques in order to defend those. Okay, if he comes in for the stabby kind of thing from over the top, for example, okay, we can use this to set up for our defences. But it's not as easy as all that. It's not as easy as what that looks.
You're going to go that well.
Seeing as we've gone that far, we'll talk about the concealed attacks as well. So Pacey, if we're in a fight, or it looks like we're going to be in a fight, and a hand goes behind, you're assuming that that's a weapon. You assume straight away that that's a weapon. If you're wrong, you buy him a drink afterwards. But if he's getting aggressive with me, and he reaches into a pocket, bang! We're going to aim for that arm straight away. One arm's going to come up and smack him in the head, and the other one's going to shoot down. Then two arms are going to go into one. Okay, and we're going to try to control. Once again, we're going to put both hands onto that knife hand, so he can't switch it over to the other hand, and we can use the leverage of two hands on one to crush that wrist, to force the release. Okay? Well, thank you. So that's